Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abby if you're new here, and today I'm going to be repotting my variegated monsteras. I got these in May and they have grown quite substantially since, and I'm noticing that the leaves aren't getting bigger and they really need some support. So I have just come back from seeing in-laws abroad, and I actually left my plants being looked after by a neighbour for 3 weeks. And in that time, this is the bizarre thing, this wasn't showing any signs of, well, I say it wasn't showing any signs of new growth. It was, I'll show you. The new growth that I could see was literally, I don't know if you can even see that, it was there, and it was that amount that I could see 3 weeks ago, which was exciting. But I came back to this new leaf, not a lot of variegation on it, don't get me wrong, but I'm really surprised and really impressed. It's kind of like grown that in 3 weeks. So I am over the moon because 1, it's not dead, 2, it's not browning, and 3, it's obviously happy. So yeah, that was really good. But I will be doing a plant update on all of my, I think I'm in my 90s now, so all of my 90 plus plants today. So that will probably already be out on my channel by the time this is out. But today I am repotting these, but I'm repotting them together, and they really need a moss pole. So I'm repotting them together and I'm giving them a moss pole. I wanted to repot them together for a while, and I think it will just make them look a lot healthier, a lot fuller and nicer as well. The only problem is I don't know where I'm going to put them. So at the moment in my flat, they are on like a little bench and on like my TV stand, and they're big enough, like the spaces are big enough for the size pot that they're in. So once they go up to this kind of pot size, I don't know where I'm going to put that just yet, so I'll figure that out as I go along. But yeah, I thought I would just take you kind of like on the journey of repotting my monsteras and how it goes, because I've not really put 2 plants together of this size before. I do lots of little plants, and let's be honest, you've got the added pressure of them being variegated monsteras as well. So fingers crossed it all goes well, and I will turn the camera around so you can actually see what I'm doing, and I'll see you soon. So what I'm gonna do is, you can see these individual monsteras are in I think it's, I think it's a 16 centimetre pot, which is just fine. It was just 1 pot size up from what they arrived in the nursery pot, but obviously putting them together, and they have got quite a lot of roots. I'm going to put them in this terracotta pot with this moss pole. So this terracotta pot is 25 centimetres, and it will fit both of the monsteras in like quite snugly. Snugly? Is that a word, snugly? Snugly, yeah, I think. But I was debating whether to put the moss pole outside, allowing the roots to kind of be there, or in the middle and do one each side. I don't know. I actually don't know what I want to do in that aspect. I mean, the drainage hole's in the middle, so maybe I'll do it off centre at the back, kind of in the middle of both kind of things. But what I do is, I've got loads and loads of pots, like literally pots full of soil, and it's really good soil, so I'm going to obviously reuse it. And the reason for this one, for example, is the Piala. I repotted it and it had no roots, and then I had a panic, and then I put it into water to establish roots before I repotted it again. So that's why that's ready to kind of go. But this is, I've mentioned it before, it's BioViz Light Mix, and I really like it. It's full of like perlite. It's a nice airy mix. I think that is so essential for monsteras. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to go ahead and firstly fill. I'm really excited about this. I'm looking forward to this for ages. I'm going to fill the bottom with soil, and I'm going to place that there. I feel like you lose so much of the moss pole. I actually might leave that out for a bit and then kind of put it in further up. But I'm going to just fill this up. I actually might put more perlite in as well. Yeah, they're obviously happy in the soil because I grow it. I'm not even sure if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm just filling it with soil. People can see that. I feel like my allergies are coming back. It's got a bit more now. And you don't want to be coughing right now. This situation. Okay, I'm happy with that. Just gonna secure that in. Right, so I'll cut the monsteras off this really bad temporary pot for now. I did this before I went away because I could see they were leaning over, and it was freaking me out that they had no support and they were becoming really top heavy. So like when I'd water them, they'd be fine, but when they were drier and there's no weight in the soil, I felt like the pot would just fall, and it was just like, I don't want to come back to a smashed plant on the floor. And the exciting thing is I've got some really cool like string. I brought it back with me from, it was like a local garden centre, and I'll show you when I come to it, but I get to use it on this plant now, which is exciting. So take out those things. This is always such a messy job. Break off as much of the soil as I can. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but the roots are pretty good. All healthy, thick, white roots, just like you want. Nice. Very nice. Okay, so they're kind of at the moment growing, like they are starting to vine round. So I think if I was to put him, this is so fiddly. Do I like that? I really like it, but is it practical? I think that's good. And then if needed. Okay. That's good. Okay, cool. I'm happy with that one. I'm just gonna leave that there for a bit. This is so nice. I actually think it's really pretty. The multiples not that big though. It'll be fine. It'll be good. And then I've got to do the same for this one. This one's the slower growing one. That's the one that just pushed out a new leaf for me, which is exciting. And this one they were growing at the same rate for so long. Well, until I had left like the plants here, and then I've come back to see one's got a brand new leaf and this one is at the same stage it was when I left, which I don't know why that is. Like, I think originally I had this one in this window here, and then I had this one in the bedroom window, and they were kind of like the same distance from from the window, but I suppose the bedroom window doesn't get direct light, and that had some direct light. So obviously I was keeping an eye on it. I've been on furlough, so I've been at home to see if it was blazing hot, I would take it away from the window. So it's not like it was left unattended, and you know, it sounds pretty weird to say I left my plant unattended, but I left it in the window on days like this where it'd be gloomy, but it'd be bright in direct light because it would be a bit crappy weather. But I don't know why one of them is growing a different way. Okay. So I always reuse these as well. Like it's almost like a life cycle for these. Like plants always need them, and they're kind of, for me, they're my go-to like prop if I don't have a moss pole, or I don't know if the plant's just not like kind of at the moss pole stage yet. But I've been doing really well with moss poles actually. I've been buying really cheap plants from the market that are like near dead, and reviving them, and maybe taking cuttings from them because obviously they're not in a good state, and then the moss pole like has come with it. So some plants that I recently bought were like £3.50, and the moss pole is worth more than that. So that's why I've got some moss poles at the moment, and I bought a few back from holiday with me, but the moss poles were too big to get in the suitcase, so I cut them down. And I can make them bigger again, or I've used it on an Adansonia around there. So I'm actually good for moss poles at the moment, which is what usually happens. Okay, so this one feels a bit more compact. The top of the soil, whenever someone comes into my flat, they always say the top of the soil is like really dry, and to be fair, it does look that way, but it's the actual plant roots are getting enough water. Don't know why the top just always looks a bit dry. I don't really want to take too much of the soil off the roots, you know, because I don't know, I'm not repotting them because they have root rot or anything, but I just want to check that they're good. Just because I have left them. You see this one's like coming up, like out of the soil, it means it's like, you do with a bit more room. But yeah, I just want to check the health of the roots while I'm here, but I don't want to disturb them too much. And with this one, I noticed before I was going away, I don't know if you can see that, it's starting to brown on the half moon, which is the first time my amazing leaf was browning. I took it to heart and I got really upset, and I said I'm never buying like an expensive rare plant again, but I don't know. Life goes on, doesn't it? That will be that. Yeah, this one, like, that's vined really well. Like, it's really big, and this one hasn't so much. But this is the one I got free. So from Plant Lovers EU, months ago when they had first started, I got both of these for £33. So I actually bought this one, and this one was a surprise free gift. So that might be the reason why, because it's slower, like it's smaller, I mean, and obviously less variegation, although I'm digging this new leaf. I think it's really cool because it's obviously got fenestrations, and this new leaf is amazing. Well, not new leaf, this leaf is amazing, but obviously we're now seeing it brown. Anyway, back to the plant I'm talking about. I don't know what to do. I feel like with the moss pollen here, it might not be enough space. I hate bending things like that. I just get scared. Do I want to do it that way? concentrating. I'm not doing it now. And I go like this. I don't know why. I never knew I did it until my husband was like, yeah, I think I like it. I like it. I'm just worrying about the amount of space it's not got, but yeah, I can do that actually. It's a tiny bit more space. I don't know if you see this. Okay, cool. I'm happy with that. I am happy. So I'm gonna fill it in. Soil, just the soil that they were in before. Waste that one well. Remember? I literally got back from on holiday at like midnight last night, and I got all my plants back really, really quickly because I like waking up and, you know, having my shit together. And it's literally, I've been up since 7, so it's like, it's been like a couple of hours and I'm already on to Repot plants. I don't even have any food in the house, honestly. I haven't even gone to go get some like bread or milk for breakfast. I've just been looking forward to doing this. Which is maybe sad to some people, but for me, I like it. Oh, I'm actually loving this. I really wish I did this earlier. It's so nice. It's so pretty. So the one thing I did notice with the one thing I noticed with when I took them out of this was that there was gaps. So like the roots were obviously where they are, but then there was like pockets and like gaps where the soil hadn't been compressed. But I think you get that when obviously when you water it, soil moves and you know you do get like gaps. But I just want to make sure I'm actually compressing it down so there aren't any gaps. I think before I wasn't confident in, I don't know, I was just so nervous about doing something wrong and, you know, breaking the roots, and the roots are so established. I don't think you can break them unless you have some scissors. But yeah, I just want to make sure I'm going in there and pressing it all down. Okay. And now it's time for me to get my shovel. Oh, my legs are going numb. I don't know why I put jeans on for this. I usually wear like really, really dirty old clothes to Repot. It's another thing I haven't even done yet. So we don't even have food in the house. I haven't even got my guinea pigs yet. Like, I usually do like nothing before I go get them. But the girl that's looking after them, she hasn't replied to me when I texted her last night saying we can come get my boys. So she hasn't replied to me just yet. I'm hoping she wants to return them. But yeah, I think she's working. It might be this evening. It just feels so weird in this flat without them. I miss them so much. 3 weeks is the longest I've ever done without them. I mean, we usually go on holiday for just under 3 weeks, so like usually like 2.5, like kind of nearly 3 weeks, but this time it was over 3 weeks because I'm on furlough. So, I mean, why not? And my husband's got so many holiday days to take, it's unbelievable. So yeah, like my in-laws live in the most remote area, and we didn't do anything other than just chill in the garden. Like we went to the lake house, we went mushroom picking, sorted the bees out, got some honey, brought it back with us. You know, we did like all nature kind of like outdoorsy stuff. And and it was so nice. But we thought, why not spend more time over there, because obviously we've just spent since March locked in a flat, and I've missed being outdoors. It's like my favourite thing to do every year. Like, I don't even need to go on holiday, just go over there. I'm so happy. This is filling up nicely. I was really worried that these plants would be lost in this big pot, but I think it's like perfect. Just before I did this, I went around taking photos of some pots and sent it to my planter friend and said, what do you think? This one's too big and I don't like this one, but I'm liking it. I didn't like the rim on this terracotta, I don't know why I'm being a bit fussy, but I really, really like it. I love it. I love it. Does anyone else have monsteras, like 2 monsteras that they've maybe got from Plant Lovers EU, or they've just been lucky enough to get 2 and they put them together? And if so, I mean, do you prefer it? Did you like them when they were on their own? Because sometimes we make these decisions and then we're like, oh, actually, I preferred it before. What have other people done? This is getting so busy. I usually put something down. Tucked the roots that I can, like the area roots, in. My hair's not braided, by the way. If it looks like it at the back, it's just wet. Anyways, leave my hair to dry naturally now. I don't have to go to work, and it takes a while to dry. I am literally so happy with this. It looks so good. Yeah, I might tie. Are you okay then? Cool. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna clean up all this soil and I will get back to you and show you the finished product. So that is me all done now with the repotting. So I've done 2 variegated monsteras that I had, which were a nice size on their own, but I wanted them together, and I've given them a moss pole. And you can see that this plant now looks absolutely incredible. I mean, I've got little bits of gaps here and there, and obviously all the leaves are facing this way more or less because that's where the light was, but I think this is just made me fall in love with it all over again. So I'm very happy with that, and I'm hoping this leaf just came out before we went on holiday, so this is only maybe a month old, and this one came out entirely while we were away, and you can see it's smaller, so I do think it was because of the lack of support it had. I mean, those orchid sticks did nothing other than just make sure it didn't topple over. So I'm hoping that the leaves grow in much bigger and happier, and yeah, I think that is a successful repotting. So I hope you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!